First, Australia's Jurassic Park. On an outback cattle station miles from anywhere, there's been a massive discovery. A bone belonging to one of the biggest dinosaurs ever to walk the earth. And that's only the start of what Robin and her husband have found.
When the sun rises over Eromanga, you can see dinosaurs everywhere. But the dinosaur everyone's talking about is Cooper.
It sends a shiver down your spine, really, to sort of think that this massive animal is real to the world. Everyone knows about it, and it actually walked around here, somewhere between 92 and 96 million years ago.
Robin McKenzie found Cooper on her outback cattle station outside Eromanga, which is more than 1,000 kilometres inland from Brisbane. Robin's also the force behind building the museum in Eromanga, which has now become Cooper's home. So is Cooper something of a local hero?
A very big local hero and a big gentle giant. I think he's pretty special.
Cooper's real name is Australotitan cooperensis, and with the help of science and modern technology, he's been brought to life. Now, Cooper is 30 metres long. From the tip of his toes to the top of his thigh is over 6 metres, and his head stretches 9 metres into the sky. That means he's as long as a basketball court and as tall as a 2-storey building, which makes him the biggest ever dinosaur found in Australia and one of the biggest in the world.
You're only as tall as Cooper's ankle, so this part of him.
A replica of Cooper is being assembled inside the museum, much to the delight of local children.
He can step on us.
He might step on us. What will happen though if he steps on us?
We'll be squished.
We will be squished.
Michelle Moyle is the town's school principal.
It's important for them to know that dinosaurs could be found anywhere, and where they live is such a unique place.
And what is it about dinosaurs, do you think, that fascinates kids?
But I think it's because they're almost mythical. However, this makes them real.
As scary as Cooper looks, scientists say he was a vegan, not a meat eater. And to see where Cooper was found, you have to travel 2 hours out of Eromanga to a dusty field on the edge of Robin's property near Cooper Creek, which is what the massive dino is named after.
Cooper's graveyard.
Cooper's graveyard.
And, you can see out there where all the pegs represent where the major bones were found.
15 years ago, Robin and her husband Stuart were mustering when they happened upon Cooper's bones, some uncovered by gradual erosion.
At that time, obviously, we weren't that sure what size the animal was, but we could tell by the size of the chunks on the ground that it was probably a big individual. And not in our wildest dreams would we ever have guessed that it was going to turn out to be Australia's largest dinosaur.
Out here today, it's dry as far as the eye can see. But 95 million years ago, scientists say this was swampland. And this is where Cooper lived, spending his days looking for food. As we know, he was a plant eater, and he certainly must have eaten a lot, because it's estimated he weighed a whopping 67 tonnes.
And so it was a full-time job just eating. And they basically just hovered and ripped and shredded and swallowed, and they didn't bother chewing because that would have taken too long, and they had to fill up something equivalent of a rubbish skip, that's the size of their stomach, every day.
And it's in the top 10 to 15 largest in the world. So it's our first hat in the ring for the world's largest animals.
It took Queensland Museum paleontologist Dr. Scott Hucknall and a troop of volunteers 15 years to uncover Cooper, study his fossilised bones and publish a scientific paper formally naming the giant animal as a new species.
The study took a long time to actually come together because each dinosaur bone can weigh hundreds of kilos. But we use digital scanning technology to actually create three-dimensional models of each of these bones.
This is certainly the find of the day.
Exciting.
Very exciting.
And while we're at the dig site where Cooper was found, Robin finds another bone fragment belonging to him, probably part of a limb.
Be nice to see whether I can jigsaw that back together again. You see the surface? That's what's left of it. It's very weathered. And you've got the internal structure in there. Very cool.
And Cooper isn't the only Australotitan found out here. So far, Robin has found 4 of his mates.
We've got George and Cooper and Sid and Tom and Zach. George and Cooper are by far the biggest.
You can see their fossilised bones at the museum, which is becoming a drawcard for tourists from around the country. Cooper might put Eromanga on the map.
Well, I know when I moved here, I had to look it up on the map to see where I was going.
Tim Proud is the town's only policeman.
It's definitely created a bit of a buzz in Australia and overseas, so yeah, it's pretty exciting.
It's given us the opportunity to bring these discoveries to the world. It's also given us the opportunity to develop a tourism industry around these discoveries.
Are you impressed?
I am, yeah, we're on the map.
87-year-old Betty Marchant is the oldest person in Eromanga and says Cooper is the best thing she's seen happen to the town in 65 years of living here. Betty's just glad she wasn't here when Cooper was.
Yeah, I'm pleased I didn't live in those days.
They say he was a gentle giant, but I don't think I'd want to see him coming down the street.
He'd have to put his foot on you and squash you, wouldn't he?
He would.
Yeah.
It's quite moving when you actually get to the point of announcing a new dinosaur, and then you actually recreate that animal and you can see it walk and move, and just to see that great beast just walk again is just incredible.
Robin says she's raising funds to extend the museum and build a hall big enough to fit a life-size model of Cooper.